and named Steve. Tiffany, welcome to the Jeff and Jen Morning Show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So let's talk about Steve. How'd you meet, and how'd that first date go?
Well, I met him through work. We were both at a sales conference, actually, in Columbus, and just so happens I was sitting next to this really good-looking guy, and we started exchanging words, and he was just really cool, really funny, chill. And so I obviously just assume he's married, because all great guys are. Too good of a catch not to be, you know?
Okay.
So I didn't even really think about him in that way, assuming he was just off the market, not available.
You're like, there's no way this guy's single.
Right. So it's you can relax around him because you don't feel like you have to play it up.
Exactly. So to my surprise, he did ask me to join him for lunch when we were at the conference. And I just took a peek at the hands, and I was like, oh, no ring. What?
So then you were like, well, I don't know. What would your girlfriend think of that? Oh, no girlfriend. Well,
it's too good to be true. He must have a girlfriend then. Even, I just figured he was probably seeing somebody. But I went anyway. So I went to lunch anyway, just out of curiosity, and we had a great time.
Nice.
A few drinks, lots of laughs.
A few drinks over lunch, a few.
Yeah, a few. I mean, the lunch it was a long lunch. We were really enjoying the banter back and forth, the company. And at one point, I finally just got up the courage and I asked what his situation was.
What is his situation?
He's available, but he had just broken up with his girlfriend about a month ago.
Oh.
So I know that sounds awful, but I'm sorry for the breakup, but I was thrilled.
Yeah. Now, did you ask him in that moment? Because I think that this is a question Jen would have asked, because these are the types of questions that she likes. Did you ask him? This has come up before on Second Date Update.
So what went wrong? How come the relationship didn't work out?
Yes, and what role did you play in all of that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think those are kind of pretty creepy questions for just asking right away.
Oh, hell, it doesn't stop me.
I did kind of cry. I did.
But, some people are like, don't ask questions you don't necessarily want the answers
Yeah. But see, that's the thing is want the answers. Don't you? Aren't you curious? Isn't that something you would like to know?
Yeah, I did. I asked him if he was heartbroken, and I did ask a lot of questions about the relationship just to make sure that I'm not going to be emotionally vulnerable. And he was free and clear, emotionally available. That's kind of the question I wanted to get at.
Gotcha.
Is this guy still attached to the girl he just broke up with?
Right.
Otherwise, why am I going to put forth an effort?
Yeah, good question. All right, so he's claiming to be emotionally available. This is all over lunch. This is what's crazy. It's like this is all transpiring in one day.
Yeah.
All right, so what happened after you got a few drunks, you're tanked. Was the conference, was there also an afternoon session?
Or was the rest of the day shot?
Okay. After, it was 3 drinks, okay. And he got pretty flirty. But then we went back to the conference, business as usual.
Right.
Hanging in the conference. And we were back for about an hour. And he, so cute, he passed me a note, and he said to leave, and he'd be right behind me.
Oh,
so I went
nice.
for it. I just dove in with both feet, and scandalous. We ended up in his room, more drinks, more room service, and what led and turned out to be a really incredible night.
All right.
That sounds awesome.
I like it. I love it when stuff like this happens. So, you're going to a frickin' sales conference.
Yeah.
In Columbus. Yeah. You're probably staying at Hilton, Holiday Inn,
Or worse, one of those business conference hotels like the Delta.
Oh,
or something.
yeah.
Sorry, no offense. They're fine conference hotels, but they're just not.
But it's not like some exotic. You're not at the Gaylord in Nashville, right?
But the night was exotic. It turned into a whirlwind.
Well, and this is the kind of thing, what's happening in this instance between Tiffany and Steve is the kind of thing that couples who've been married for years role play just to spice up their lives.
Yeah, okay, let's go to a conference and pretend that we don't know each other.
Let's just crash a conference at a hotel.
Honey, pick me up at the bar. This is going to be so fun.
We'll come up with fake names and stuff.
Oh, God, you guys do that, don't you?
What? I'm sorry. Okay, so you end up spending the whole night with him. Like, how did it end? How did you leave? How did you get out of there? What was that like?
Well, it was the wonderful, I will say wonderful, not walk of shame, but because nobody's looking at me. Nobody knows me. I'm at a conference. So left in the morning, went back to my room, and he said on my way out that he would call me, and I believed him. But that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
and
man.
I texted him, and I've gotten no response. So I'm kind of on the edge of my seat, pins and needles. I really don't want this to be too good to be true.
I'm immediately thinking of like a George Clooney Up in the Air situation where like he meets up with this woman, like
I was
they
thinking
cross
the same
paths at
exact
different
thing.
conferences and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's super passionate, and then you find out at the end like she's married and she's got like a whole family.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I just watched that movie recently because it was new on Netflix, and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this. And I was shocked by that
you
moment.
didn't see that coming.
Not at all.
Don't let that be my ending. I love that movie, but that was shocking. I don't want that to be how this plays out.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break here, Tiffany, and we're going to call him up.
Okay.
And we're going to see what he says.
We are going to call him up
Yes,
with
we are.
his other girlfriend/wife, wherever he is.
Is he even from this area?
Actually, he's in Dayton, but I live in Westchester, so that's
you're
no
right.
big
Oh,
deal.
you're just right
That's no
there.
problem.
Outer Dayton.
Cool.
Okay, then that's what we'll do. We'll come back. We'll call Steve, see what he thought of Tiffany and where he wants to go from here, assuming there's not more to the story. Coming up next with Jeff and Jen here at Cincinnati's Q102. All right, so Tiffany met Steve at a work conference in Columbus, and I guess he kind of lives on the outer edges of the tri-state. He's from Dayton, and she lives in Westchester. So, you know, we could easily get something together here if Steve would reach out to her. But after they had this, you know, whirlwind afternoon romance that led into the night, she hasn't heard from the guy. And she's wondering what the heck is going on.
I definitely felt like we had a connection and that we were going to keep the train moving down the tracks.
And you felt like that continued through the next morning when you snuck out of the hotel room, or was he even awake?
Yeah, no, he was awake. We parted ways, said goodbye, and he promised he would call me or we would keep in touch. And
all right. Well, let's call Steve, see what's up.
Hello?
Hi, is this Steve?
Is this?
Hey, Steve, it's Jeff and Jen, and we're with Q102 in Cincinnati. How are you?
I'm fine. Can I ask what this is about?
Yes, sir. We got a phone call this morning from a fan of yours. With your permission, we'd love to have you come on our show by phone right now, if you got a few minutes, and have a little chat about this mystery person, who I might add again is a big fan of yours.
A fan. I don't know who this could be, but sure.
Okay, she met you at that work conference in Columbus, and I guess you had quite an afternoon, which she enjoyed thoroughly, said you are just fantastic, super nice guy, and was left with the impression that you might reach out to her again, possibly getting together for a future date or rendezvous or whatever. And it's been a couple weeks, I guess, and she's a little disappointed she hasn't heard from you. Have you been traveling? Have you been busy? Like, what's going on with you, Steve?
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't really have any clue who you guys are or what this is about, but
well, we do a radio show. You know, it's a silly little feature we do called Second Date Update, where like if someone goes on a date and they get blown off, then, you know, we'll make a phone call on their behalf to try to figure out like what the issue is. But I'm sure you're a busy guy and you probably got other stuff going on. And if you're not looking for another relationship, or maybe you're getting back with your ex, you said you just recently came out of a relationship, you know, all that's fine. I think she would just like to know what's going on.
I'm sure she would, but I think you got the wrong guy here. I'm a stay-at-home dad in Dayton. I haven't been to any conferences. I haven't done any rendezvous or anything else like that. So, sorry, but definitely not me you're looking for.
Your name is Steve, though, correct?
It is Steve, but I think you got the wrong Steve.
Is your phone number 937?
It is, but again, definitely not who you're looking for.
All right, Steve.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
How many kids you got, Steve?
He just hung up.
Does that sound like him, though? Does that sound like the guy?
I think it sounded like him. Did he give me a wrong number? What is that?
What are the odds of having... Yeah. You know what? He could have given you the... He could have totally he could have totally snuck off to this. He could be this stay-at-home dad that snuck off to a conference with some other guy's business card.
Yeah, but where is he explaining to his wife that he was all weekend? And if he's a stay-at-home dad, who's taking care of those kids? You think she was just sitting at home while he was having
on the weekend? I don't know. Maybe he was going four-wheeling with his friends.
I don't know. There's so many ways to First of all, I do think he's a liar. But second of all, there are just so many ways to get proof that I'm like, how is he pulling all this off? I think he's still lying about, I'm a stay-at-home dad with 3 kids. I don't even think...
You think that part of the story is made up?
I think he's a total shammer.
How did you get his number? Did he write it down or did he text you?
He wrote it down on one of the flyers that was passed out. You know, you get a whole bunch of those leaflets and things
And
when
did
you're
you...
at those conferences, and he just scratched it down for me, his personal line, not his business line. It was on the card.
Did you get a business card from him?
I did not.
And did you ever communicate with him by phone at all? Text or voice?
No.
Okay.
Remember, he passed me the note, and then I followed him out, and no reason to use the phone.
So we can't confirm the legitimacy of the phone number to begin. I mean, the fact that he's got the same name could, in theory, I don't think it is a coincidence, but we can't confirm the legitimacy of the phone number that he gave you. Right?
No.
He could have given you a bogus number.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
think he did.
I don't either. I mean, are you buying his stay-at-home dad thing?
No, that is like the movie. That is just, it makes no sense. He does not strike me. And first of all, he does not seem old enough to have 3 kids.
There's so many things that don't add up here. Like, why would he give her his real number? Like, if you really wanted to blow her off, why would you give someone your real phone number?
Yeah.
So
maybe it wasn't him.
Wedding crasher.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's
Like
all
a
very
wedding
suspect.
crasher.
I think you just need to
feel
take
like
this situation for it is what it is. You had a great night of incredible
Glorious night,
sex and
sounds like.
room service, and thank God it wasn't just a sales conference.
Yeah. Maybe his wife was at the conference and watched the whole thing.
Watched him take her home?
Yeah.
That would be interesting. What a twist.
Oh, this is disappointing.
I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws here. I'm sorry, Tiffany.
Thank you guys so much for your help. I appreciate it.
And thank you for coming on Second Date Update. Let us know if there's anything else we can ever do for you.
Will do.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. If you need us for a second date update, it's very simple. Just send us an email, Jeff and Jen at WKRQ.com.
Thanks for listening to the Q102 Jeff and Jen Morning Show podcast, brought to you by CBG Airport. Start your trip at CBGAirport.com.